going to demonstrate working cables in slow motion. Now what I'm going to show here is kind of just the basic idea of cables, and if you picture them in your head, they look like the knitting is twisted because the knitting actually is twisted. And you'll want to follow the instructions in your pattern for exactly what cables the pattern wants you to do. I'm going to do a really simple 4/4 twist, but sometimes you have different numbers and you have purls thrown in there. I'm showing you the most basic, well, not the most basic, I suppose 2/2 or 1/1 would be more basic, but I'm showing you just a basic twist with nothing else, just to give you the idea of how these work. Also, I'm going to be using a little straight cable needle. You can use a double pointed needle if you don't have a cable needle. There are so many shapes and sizes of cable needles, and I'll just tell you that you have to find what you like. It's totally a personal preference thing. I like speed, and so this little metal needle is quick and it's not bent. A lot of them have bends and stuff in them. This is what I'm going to use because I like speed. Even though this is slow motion, I didn't even think about that. Well, enough talking. Let's go slow-mo.
Okay, here's my work. I have 2 different cables here. And you'll see that one is, well, I know I'm going to point to them here. The one on the right is leaning to the right. And the one on the left is leaning to the left. And that's just how, if we hold the reserve stitches in the front or the back, that's how we make those different twists. So a lot of cable patterns will have you working purl stitches for the background, and that's what I have around the around the cables themselves are purl stitches. It makes the knitted cables really stand out against the background. So in my sample here, I have four purl stitches. And it's a good idea to use kind of sticky needles while you're doing this. I'm using double pointed needles just because this is a little piece of work, but I don't have to worry about that needle sliding out because I dropped the right needle and picked up the cable needle. And now I'm going to slide 4 stitches. Again, this is just, the pattern I'm using is 4/4. I'm going to slide those 4 stitches onto the cable needle. Slow motion is very slow. I know I did it faster than that when I shot the video. I'm going to put that cable needle in the back of the work. That's going to give me the right leaning twist. Pick up my actual knitting needle back in my right hand. I'm just going to ignore that cable needle. That's why the cable needle that you pick is kind of a personal preference, because you might want something that has, a dip in it or a hook in it to keep it from sliding out. Now I'm going to pretend like those stitches on the cable needle don't even exist and just knit the next stitches on my left needle. And after I knit those 4 stitches, the next stitch is a purl on my left needle, so I know that I'm done with the cable. But now I have to go back and knit those stitches on the cable needle. Slide those stitches down to the tip. Get myself in position. And depending on how big your cable is, these stitches can be challenging because you are twisting the work kind of around them. But usually it's just a few stitches, you get through them, you end up with a really cool effect in the fabric of your knitting. Okay, those are all the stitches off of the cable needle, so I can drop the cable needle now. I won't need that again until we get to the next cable. And I'm back to purl stitches. So I'm going to yarn forward. And I pulled that yarn back there to give it a little tug, because the first purl after working some knit stitches, especially cables, that stitch can be kind of loose and wonky. So I pulled the yarn back behind the stitch just to give it a tug. Okay, now I'm ready to work a left-leaning cable. Pull my yarn back because I'm going to switch to knit stitches here. Grab my cable needle. And again, I'm going to slip those 4 stitches onto the cable needle. And because this is going to twist the other way, last time we put that needle in back of the work, this time we're going to let it hang in front of the work. Other than that, it's the same thing. Just start knitting the next stitches like that cable needle isn't even there. And when you first do this, you might kind of wish you had octopus arms, like an extra hand to hang on to things, but you find a cable needle that you like and you can trust to hold those stitches without dropping them. So now I'm going to go back and knit these cable stitches off the cable needle. And it's a tight fit here. And my left needle is just kind of swaying in the breeze. I'm not using it right now. And the last one, I can drop the cable needle again, and all that's left, regular speed, is just the purl stitches. There we go.
And that is it. I hope this helps you not be afraid of working cables. They're actually pretty fun. Good luck.